because he's just a constant presence and a threat defensively in the paint.
I'll go to Doris Burke, who spoke with Tom Thibodeau. Doris?
We talked about David West and what makes him such a tough player to defend. Coach said, West is special because he's so skilled for a player of his size and strength. He can score inside and also spread the floor with his shooting. He can have a quiet night and still drop 20 and 10. So we've got to stay conscious of him at all times. Guys, we'll see how they do against him.
And as always, Doris, thank you. 6 on the shot clock. Gibson on him. A jump hook. No good from West.
And very quickly here in the first quarter, pronounced advantage for them on the glass.
Yeah, that's a trend they'd love to continue right through the next 3 quarters as well.
Indiana leading. They put up a nice win against Detroit the last time out.
And they did just what you have to do as a road team. Guys, they never allowed any momentum to build up against them. It seemed like every time they took a punch, they had a counter.
You'll like this, Steve. Watch out!
Wow, that was unbelievable.
Look at that.
How about that?
Look at that.
The solo alley-oop. That's not something we see too often.
Timed it perfectly. You're right. And caught the defense totally off guard.
I can remember Tracy McGrady doing that. First guy I ever saw pull that off.
So Chicago going with an almost entirely new group here. Joakim Noah, he's checked in for Muhammad. Boozer comes in for Taj Gibson. Mike Dunleavy, he's checked in for Jimmy Butler. It's Heinrich in for Derrick Rose. Plenty of space. And there's Paul George on the assist by Hill. Hill's got his 3rd assist on the night. Pass to Noah. Heinrich outside. Here's Red Hot. He's guarded by Hill. And again, no good by Chicago. No good. The first quarter all wrapped up, and it's been an exciting game so far.
Coming up next Monday, November 11th, Kyrie Irving and the Cleveland Cavaliers go on the road to battle the Chicago Bulls. Live from United Center. Be there.
Well, it's been a tight one so far as we get the second quarter going back here.
Bulls had won the Central each of the last 2 seasons, but were unable to make it 3 in a row as the Pacers grabbed the Central Division title last season. Still, considering the injuries, the Bulls had a good run.
And around a minute gone here in the second quarter. The shot's good from Red Hot.
You can't leave him alone, especially from long range.
Indiana trailing here. And back to the Bulls. They went 9-7 in division last year, Steve, and kept pace with the Pacers for a while for the title, but never could really close the gap.
Seems like the Bulls are always in the mix for the Central Division title. And since the realignment in 2004, the Bulls have never finished in the bottom of this division, and more often than not, they're in one of the top 2 spots.
Chicago making a switch here. Last outing for Chicago. They won that game against the 76ers in Philadelphia.
And guys, they could have won that game on the strength of their offense alone. It was that good.
And to do it on the road, too. I mean, the way they just kept coming at them and coming at them, they kept that crowd out of the game the entire time. That's good work.
He's starting to put it together now, guys. He's added 2 3-pointers after hitting 1 in the first.
Hit his foot. And it's being called a kickball. And now approaching 2 minutes of action here in the second quarter. Scola drives in. And out of bounds as the Bulls gain possession.
Jimmy Butler was the last pick of the first round back in 2011 by the Bulls. And last season, I tell you what, he really solidified his place in the rotation, guys. He's still developing his outside shot, and he brings an awful lot to light to the table.
Boy, he's so hard to stop, guys, because he poses a ton of matchup problems for the defense.
It's back to Hill. Feeds it to Johnson. Pass to Watson. Indiana moving it around. And the Pacers can't get it to go. And for Jimmy Butler, what a story. Abandoned as a child, bounced around from home to home. One coach would take him in, another family would take him in. It was a very tough upbringing down in the Houston area. He overcame tremendous odds. And to be where he is today with the great attitude after a short time at Marquette, it speaks volumes of his character.
Well, it sure shows in his play, doesn't it? I mean, just the way he hustles and draws fouls, rebounds, defends. He can guard multiple positions out there. I just love his overall game and his toughness and what he brings to this team. And he continues to search for his rhythm. It's eluded him to this point.
And the call will be against Red Hot. That's his first foul. So Chicago going with an almost entirely new group here. Hibbert dishes to Granger. Knocks it loose. And it's going to be out of bounds. The Bulls will take it.
And now a look at Roy Hibbert. Some stats on him. Last year, getting it done. 4th in blocks. And he was among the top 20 rebounders in the league as well. So this is a guy who had a lot of double-figure nights on the glass.
And how about that block shots per game average? I mean, he was one of the top 5 in that category, Steve.
Now let's send it to Doris from the sideline.
Gentlemen, last season it seemed there was a little back and forth between head coach Tom Thibodeau and the Bulls front office regarding the big minutes he gave his starters. Thibodeau said, quote, "It's never the right amount of minutes. That's the only thing I know. If a guy's not playing big minutes, it's not enough minutes. And if a guy's playing mid minutes, it's too many minutes. So you play to win. That's the whole thing. And when you're a young team, guys can handle minutes. But guys, both Dang and Noah missed significant time. Noah only playing 66 games in the regular season. Dang out into the last 7 games of the playoffs. You wonder if maybe they have a point."
They've worked to round out the roster, Doris. That should help those minutes stay down. Mike Dunleavy, he's checked in for Jimmy Butler.
Well, if the Pacers wanted to grab the attention of the league with their postseason play, they certainly did that. They marched through the first 2 rounds by knocking off the Hawks and the Knicks. And boy, remember, they were a game away from the NBA Finals.
Pacers trail by 8. It's stolen. Fast break. Here comes Chicago. Here's Heinrich. Lays it up and in off the pretty assist. Heinrich's got 6. And look at how the hustle game has been going for Chicago.
Boy, their frenetic defense has really been impressive, putting a lot of pressure on ball handlers and turning them over.
You know, another thing they've done well, guys, this first half is challenge shooters and change shots. A bunch of block shots early. Boy, I love it. Active hands on the steal, active feet on the fast break.
And guys, this is just too...
Now, presented by Sprint.
Welcome to 2K Sports. We're in the early stages of what promises to be another great season in the NBA. Chicago with the lead against Indiana. They've come out of the gates strong to start, looking to keep going. Red Hot having himself a big-time game. He's got 18 points, and it's been bombs away from outside. Not the same story, though, for the Pacers. Too many turnovers. Tough to win when you're giving the ball away as easily as they have. They need to start playing smarter basketball in the second half. An unbelievable half from Paul George. His shooting percentage off the charts right now. He's got the magic touch from the field, no question about it. Thanks so much for joining us. Now let's get back out to the Circle City.
The Sprint halftime presented by Sprint.
We've gone about 3.5 minutes into the third now. Kicks it to Stevenson. He dishes it to Copeland. And the layup falls. Copeland's got his first points of the game. For Chicago, they've gone 8 of 12 from the field since the beginning of the third. Watson out there with Lance Stevenson. Then it's Chris Copeland. Then there's Ian Mahinmi. And it's West in at the 4. So that's the group out there for Indiana.
Well, at any time of the game, Kevin, he's a player they can depend on. Always has his head on straight, understands clock and score. Really got a good head for the game.
And Steve, he's earned a nickname that's familiar to anybody that's followed basketball, the microwave. There's no slow build-up with him. All he needs is one one shot to go down, and he can set him off, turn him into a real scoring machine. He cooks with gas, not electricity. After signing the big contract, a lot was expected from Roy Hibbert last season, and he put a little pressure on himself, but he also had a wrist injury, got off to a slow start, and didn't find his groove until the calendar turned to 2013.
George with the ball. Now guarded by Gibson. A nice shot by George. George has got 18 points.
Guys, he shot a very good percentage today, and they've needed it.
Here's Red Hot. That's good, and so Teague with the assist. And that's 23 points for Red Hot. And for Hibbert, a first-time All-Star in 2012. His slow start cost him a shot, I think, to repeat as an All-Star last season. That was after he signed the big contract, too, with the Pacers.
Yeah, but he sure recovered well because in the second half of the season and the playoffs, he was one of the best players in the NBA. In fact, he gave Miami all kinds of troubles in the East Conference Finals.
Shot clock at 6. Dunleavy, the pass to Red Hot. And the Bulls, another 3.
They are killing them with that three-point shot here in the second half.
Well, the defense fully stretched out trying to stop that shot and still not able to get it done.
Passes it to Watson. Dishes to Hibbert. Indiana moving it around. The 3 from George. They get it back. Mahinmi's shot is good.
You see the defense get caught standing around that time, giving up an easy second chance bucket.
Simply need more of an effort on the boards there, Steve.
Watson with it. From the arc. The rebound by Gibson. Here's Red Hot. He got it up in time, but it wouldn't fall for him. And at the end of the third quarter, a huge lead in this one may already have been decided. It's the Bulls running away with it. And time for the short break, and stay right where you are. The fourth quarter is coming up.
Coming up next Monday night, November 11th, Kyrie Irving and the Cleveland Cavaliers take on Joakim Noah and the Chicago Bulls, live from Chicago.
And thanks again for joining us. For Chicago, they've got more than 58% of their attempts to go down for them in the fourth quarter. They're 7 of 12. So for Chicago right now, Red Hot in a 2-guard. He's out there with Marcus Teague, and it's Murphy in at the 4. Clark, some tough offensive sets. They want to turn it around.
Yeah, they need a basket just to regain some momentum here, Kevin.
And George, here we go. Inside to Hibbert. And blocked. And that's out of bounds. Indiana will retain possession. So Indiana ends up with a new group on the floor. And a little over 3.5 minutes in the books so far here in the fourth. Here's West. It's good from inside. West has got 4 points now in the quarter.
He can finish in the post. That's one thing we know about him.
To the middle, Snell. And there's the slam dunk to finish it off. And that's how you exploit a gap in the D, I guess, huh?
Yes, sir. No soft finish there. Major power.
Wow. He knows an opportunity for the highlight reel when he sees one.
Now Stevenson. And that's out of bounds. Indiana will retain possession. .156 left to play in the final quarter. Hill kicks to Watson.
He's been anything but his usual self this quarter. It's actually been ugly to see.
And the pass to Red Hot. A 3-ball. Pacers with the rebound. And here's Watson. Poke loose. And here we go. The Bulls fast break. Teague's got the ball. And it's sent back by Watson. Out of bounds. Bulls ball as Chicago keeps possession.
18 seconds on the shot.
Long range from the inbound.
It has not been an easy quarter for him, at least offensively speaking.
Hill kicks to Stevenson. It's back to Hill. There's the feed to Watson. Good, and it's Hill picking up the assist. Watson's got 5 points now in the quarter.
I'm not sure who was supposed to pick him up, but somebody's going to get an earful from the coach for leaving him that wide open.
And it's going to be out of bounds. The Pacers will take it. Orlando Johnson's checked in for Lance Stevenson. Indiana's gotten 3 of their 6 3-pointers to fall here in the fourth. Another steal. Pass to Red Hot. And again, no good by Chicago.
And it is very dangerous to leave him open like that. Lucky break for the defense that he missed it.
Watson's shot is good.
That's why teams emphasize the use of screens and picks, just to get you some open looks like that one.
He feeds it to T. Snell. He passes to Red Hot. Fires the 3. Count the bucket. Red Hot's got 32 points.
Boy, you relish these sorts of road games where you come in and you get the job done.
In a long schedule with the kinds of pressure of travel and tough opponents throughout the season, it's always good when you play a game like they have here.
5-second differential between the shot clock and the game clock.
Come on, box him out, man.
Left side, West. Makes it off the glass.
This run probably just a case of too little too late.
But at least they're still going after it and playing hard. It would have been very easy to throw in the towel a while ago.
And they're not finished yet. They're going to make sure about this win.
Yeah, that's how you close out a game, Steve.
Here's Johnson. No good. And so Chicago takes this one, and by a big margin. They put on a show tonight, thoroughly controlling each end of the floor.
Hey, what more can you ask?
Well, that'll do it. For Doris Burke, Steve Kerr, and Clark Kellogg, this is Kevin Harlan saying so long. We'll see you next time. And as we leave, we give you our Jordan Player of the Game, Red Hot.
It has just been announced that you have been named the Conference Player of the Week for the past week. This is the first time you've received this award. Can we expect more of this from you in the future?
I'm definitely going to do my best to win Player of the Week every week, you know? I definitely couldn't have done it without help from my teammates, though, the coaches, and of course, the fans. Winning this award isn't what I work hard for all summer long, but it's certainly a great thing to get along the way towards the real prize.